Wait a minute. So Tay Sweat sees the market falling. You must be crazy. All that walking must be getting to your head. This is some of the things I've been getting. Now, are they right or am I right? Well, we'll dive into it. Let's check it out.
Secure the bag, yeah, that's the brand, and we get to the bag. These private
All right, family. So today we're going to jump right into it. But before we do, who am I and what am I here for? My name is Tay Swift. For those of you who are wondering, I am a trader, stock trader, futures, options, crypto. I trade it all. Why? Because I have the information on what to look for and how to maneuver these economical times, these crazy times when it comes to the charts. I know what I am looking for, and I teach other people how to replicate exactly what I do. So that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to have some fun with this thing. Why? Because this week is a crazy, huge earnings week. Okay. So I brought it up here, and what I want to kind of get into is the major players. So we're going to break down a few charts of the major players that are going to be basically reporting earnings this week. We're going to kind of see if the chart shows us a little something that we might be able to see before the earnings. Now, before we get into it, what I want to go into just really quick is that I like to track history, right? And you've probably heard me say before that most traders, they can't look back 200 years, 100 years, 50 years sometimes. They don't need, most traders don't even go back that far. But if you know what you're looking for, you know what you're doing, and you know how to piece everything together, you can look back 100 years, you can look back 50 years, you can look back 200 years. And if you piece things together the right way, you can see what's about to happen on a small scale, right? And I don't want to make it sound like this woo-woo thing or like, oh my God, you can just do, it's not bulletproof. Let's just say that. But it's very helpful, right? This is a game of probabilities, and looking at history gives you a much better probability that you're going to be on the right side of the trade. So that's all we're going to get into, right? That's all I'm trying to say. But you could take that history from 50, 100, 200 years ago, especially if you know what you're looking for and you know how to break it down. And you can see what's going to happen present day, or you can kind of see the environment that potentially can happen present day and even into, you know, the next 50 to 100 years. Yes, it's a real thing. And, you know, shout out to my SCB folks. You already know how we teach in class. We go over these things, right? So what we're going to look at right now is these earnings, the most important ones that I'm focused on. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I just want to kind of touch on a few that I'm pretty interested in, right? We got Microsoft, Alphabet, of course, which is Google. Another one I'm more than likely going to be paying attention to is Chipotle. Shout out to my STB folks. You know, we got a few Chipotle positions. Of course, I'm going to be looking for Meta. Gotta look at Meta, right? Gotta be looking at Meta. And I'm going to be looking at Amazon. Now, why am I looking at these for the most part? Because these are your tech companies, right? These are the big tech companies. And these are part of pretty much your top 5 companies. Microsoft, Alphabet, excuse me, Alphabet, Meta, Amazon, and then the only one that's really missing as far as top 5 is Apple. So, of course, you would, you know, number 6 would probably be Tesla or something like that. But for the most part, these 4 or 5, or these 4, excuse me, these 4 are going to be solid as far as the influence that it's going to have over the market, okay, the overall market. So that's what I want to look at. Now, as far as the cycles that I'm talking about and looking back into history, right now we are playing out a 100-year cycle, okay? A lot of people don't know what it is, but I'll kind of go back and just show you some things that, you know, it's only so much I can teach once again in, you know, 19, 20-minute video. But what I want to kind of get onto right now is that we are in the middle of a 100-year cycle, okay? So what we can do is we can just go back 100 years, okay? Because there are 100-year cycles, 50-year cycles, 60-year cycles, 74-year cycles, 8-year cycles. I think there's like you know, not I think, there's an 11-year, you know, Jupiter cycle, is 21-year cycle. There's a lot of cycles, right? And one of the ones we're playing out right now is, once again, the 100-year cycle. So what we can do, and I've already put it in, what we can do is we can go back to 1923, okay? And we can see what happened during this time. Family, so we are here at the Dow Jones, of course, in 1923. I know it look, if you look down here at the bottom, you'll see that it's 1900s. Okay, so 1923, and we are in March. Now, 1923 or March of 1923 showed us a fall all the way into June, July-ish, right? I'm pretty much expecting something similar. Does that mean it's going to happen that way? Does that mean you go buy put options and ride it all the way? That's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you, this is what I do when it comes to tracking history. This is what I do, right? And I go in and I chart present day and I see what's going on, and that allows me to do a few more things, right? So once again, March, and you can kind of look back and see how this played out, right? You see how this played out because it will be somewhat, it won't be perfect, but it'll be somewhat in alignment with what happened, 100 years later, which was 2020, right? So in early 2020, with March, we had what, COVID, right? And look at that, boom, okay, dropped it, dropped it. And this is back in 1900, okay? We then found a bottom, and of course, back 100 years ago, the fall took a little bit longer, but we found a bottom, and then we rallied through 21. Right, we rallied through 21, and then of course we found a top going into 22. Okay, this is 1922. We found a top in 2022, and then we failed. Right, we failed. So this, once again, it wasn't as hard of a fall. It was a little, a little off, but somewhat sense. So I say it's not going to play out perfectly the same way because still different environments. Okay, so you do have to look into that. But if we look into just this little piece, you can see that this 100-year cycle is something that I'm going to be paying attention to because of the fall, right? There is a fall that's showing itself based on this cycle. So let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. So number one, I already brought up these here. All right, boom. I've already brought them up. So we're gonna get into meta, right? We're gonna get into meta. As far as I'm concerned, I'm looking at meta, especially looking at the macro view. This is gonna be a macro view today. I'm looking at meta, and honestly, we're still bearish. We're still bearish. It could go up more once again, but a lot of my people who are, my STB folks, you all know that we follow the trend. And what's one way to follow the trend? You can look at your EMAs, right? And this EMA, these EMAs are telling us that we're bearish. The trend is currently going down, right? 10 EMA below the 20 EMA. We are in a bearish trend on the monthly chart, right? Now on the weekly chart, and this is why it can still pop a little bit, because I get a lot of people that are like, well, Tay, you said this and it went the opposite way, right? Here's the thing that we always have to be mindful of. Over a macro amount of time, let's say 3 months, the market has to make like a lot of movement. Market is open 5 days a week for the most part, right? So over 3 months, it doesn't mean it's just going to go straight down. And that's what most traders who don't understand or who are very new, like newbies, they don't understand how this thing works, right? So it's like, oh, you said it was gonna fall, it went up a little bit, right? And then it fell. It's like, okay, that's what happens. We have to, these things have to play out, right? And what we see, and the reason why I say this is because what we see is in the near term, we are bullish on the weekly chart, right? We're bullish on the weekly chart. And we have this big area here that we're going to try to get into and close. I can tell you that now. Now, will it happen? I don't think so. Not right now. But I do think we can get up here to, I don't know, maybe 240. I do think Meta could rally to 240 before it actually gets its head knocked off, right? And I think we can, what would the fall look like? Well, more than likely, it's going to hold in this area. And if it doesn't hold in that area, then we can go and see about another area. But there's an area here that it may be able to hold. So I'm thinking 197 could be something we get into. But ultimately, my ultimate price target, and this may take 6 months, maybe even a little bit longer, my ultimate price target may be coming back down to test these lows, right? Test these lows. So Meta, I'm looking $90, $91, somewhere around there to test these lows. I could be wrong, but we'll see. think I am. Next, let's see. But first of all, let's bring up some AI on this really quick because I do want to check. So let me bring up my AI. Also, as I bring in my AI, and I put in my command code, AI is also showing me that we potentially could be, as far as the option flow, it's showing us that Meta is bearish. So this could be very helpful just as a confluence point. We like to have at least 3 things to tell us to buy or sell. That's it. So once again, if I'm bullish, I need 3 things or more to tell me, okay, you're right, go bullish. If I'm bearish, I need 3 things or more to tell me, might want to go the opposite way, right? So this is kind of how we play with that one. So just looking at that, and I'm only going to do Meta, I want to be quicker with this, but just like to show this is what I do to come in with my confluence and do a little research using AI, because maybe AI sees something that I don't see, right? And that's one of the things I use. Let's go back to the charts. So getting back to the charts, I want to go through Microsoft next. Once again, this is one of the things I want to do as we approach the earnings. I want to see how this thing works, okay, or how this thing is going to work out potentially. What we see is that, yes, we are bullish here on the weekly. Let me see, looking bullish on the monthly. I don't know. Could be something here. Could be something here as far as staying bullish. Let's see. Could be something here as far as staying bullish. We have a potential that we could get up to this area to try to test the highs, but I would like to see this area broken first. If we cannot break 294, we might pull back. We might pull back. Where will we pull back to? I would like to see somewhere in here, right? I'd like to see somewhere in here. We got a lot of buyers in there, so I'd like to see some action. And we got buyers all the way down to 220. So we're at 285. I could definitely see some room back, pulling back, and then blasting off. So that blast off could take us to 300 easy on Microsoft. If I look at the daily chart, let's see if we have any like little baby gaps on the daily chart. We may be able to fill it. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, there's a little area in here. So 260. We can see a move to 260. So I can maybe put a little line somewhere in here, 260 area. I can see that, but once again, we would need a strong move. There's a gap here, 276. I can see that. Once again, I would really need to get a lot of pressure from a bad earnings, right? There's a gaps up here. Yep, we've already closed those. Now, that being said, since we've already closed those, you got to get above these sellers. If you can't get above these sellers, yeah, might have some issue. Okay, so if we can get strong move on earnings, get above here, hold support, and take off, yeah, we can go 315. I'd like to see a pullback though. I'd like to see a pullback. On to Google. What are we doing with Google? Ooh. Google needs to pull back. I can tell you that now. Google needs to pull back. We're gonna be looking at breaking out of this area, right? Google definitely needs to pull back though, right? So as you see, this was support, resistance. So this is a great line. These are great lines. Look at this: support, resistance. Got above it, support. This is a great channel. Look at that. Even back here, support. Look, this is a great channel. This is a great channel to be watching. No, seriously, this is a great channel. I'd be okay with, maybe even taking a short position right here, right, on Google. I don't know. We'll see. So this could be good. This could be good at this line, right? As you see, they shorted it here, took it right back. So right now, I don't know. You could buy it and hope that it could go back to, I don't know, maybe 112, 110, but yeah, we'll see. This is a good channel though. I like this channel. Daily chart on Google, we're bullish. Weekly chart on Google, we're bullish. We're above 50 EMA on the weekly. I mean, it could go bullish. I mean, it's sitting at that channel. However, we are bearish on the monthly, right? So that is something to pay attention to. Something to pay attention to. We got sellers in this area knocking its head off. As you see, every time it gets up here to 110, it's knocking his head off. Okay, so it's very interesting. So we'll see how the week plays out as far as earnings on Google. But we could easily blow up to that, like I said, maybe like 110, 111. But once again, I need to see you get above these sellers. Otherwise, if you do come up here, it's probably gonna knock the head off. Right. Next, let's go over Amazon. Amazon has been crazy bullish lately. Crazy bullish. We gapped up Friday, I believe. Yeah, Friday. We gapped up, and that thing is looking like it wants to continue. It wants to continue. I'm seeing a move. Just kind of looking at what it looks like, what it looks to be somewhat of an Elliott wave. This looks to be starting a wave 3. So wave 1, 2, wave 1, 2. It looks like we're starting a 3. This looks like 3. So 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3, starting up here. So yeah, we can make our way up, like more than likely, and then go 4, 5, A, B, C. So that's what I'm looking for on that. Looking at the macro on Amazon, I don't know, because let me go back. We can't ignore this. I don't know. We're sitting at resistance. So I'd like to see a gap, which it looks like it is. So it's resistance at the 200 EMA on the daily. You see pre-market, we're sitting above it. So it might open up, hold it as support, and take off. So this could be bullish. If we get us a nice little, like this one. We get us a nice little trend line on that. And trend line here. Same thing. What do we see here? Look at that. Same thing. Resistance, 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 support, support, support. This line has been respected for months. Support, resistance, 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 resistance. It's resistance. It's been resistance for a while, right? And this one has been support for a while. So this definitely can be something that we need to be paying attention to. It could break above it and hold support and then take off. And at that rate, we will need to find the next available support and resistance. I got one maybe here. We need to find the next available one. So we got support, 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 resistance, resistance, resistance. Yeah, I can see that. So if this thing wants to get above here and run, we'll probably run somewhere around 116, which would make sense because 116 would do what? It would start to test one of our gaps, right? That would be perfect. That would be perfect. Let me cancel that. I don't want that. Yeah, so getting up here, it would come in to test one of our gaps. That's solid to me. I like that. Like that a lot. Okay. So this is kind of my, my triple prong channel. So triple prong channel tends to work. Some people may even say it like the pitchfork. So I like this, right? I like this. Could be bullish. Like I said, the trend on the daily is bullish. Trend on the weekly, I think, is bullish. Let's see. Yeah, so we just slightly went bullish on the weekly. Could be something there. Could be something there. Let's look at our monthly. Monthly is still bearish. Monthly is still bearish. So over time, when the fall starts to hit, yeah, I'd like to see a test back down here to $67. So right now we can still be short-term bullish and then boom, knock his head off. So knocking the head off, I'd like to see us come down to the $66 range. So that's pretty much what I like to see. I've told you all about the DXY. I do think the DXY is getting ready to turn up, on us. So with the DXY giving us this double bottom, DXY should start running. If the DXY runs, the market should start falling. If the market starts falling, then Meta, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, the SPY, Apple, everything we just named for the most part, these things should have some trouble. All right, they're gonna have some trouble. Now, I don't know if it's gonna happen this week or if it may take, like I said, that month's span of time. It could. We'll see.
So with that being said, family, if you are looking to become a little bit more serious with your trading, you want a little help, or you just want a community of people, like-minded people at that, who are going through some of the same things you're going through. You want a little direction. You want to take advantage of the AI that we have, because we get insider trades, market news. We get to see when the big dogs, people with 100 million, 200 million, $1 billion are buying things. Not only that, we can go in here and put in commands, right? So I'll re-enter this command. So I can put in a command and see what the AI actually thinks about what's going on with the market, right? And it'll tell me, hey, our predictions based on what the AI is seeing with the overall market, we think the market is about to fall. You see it's red. So this just gives us another edge as traders, investors, because we do swing trades, we do day trades, and these alerts have been fire. As you see, we got plenty of profits, right? So everybody should have access to the profits section. We have plenty of profits, but not only that, we have other things that we can go into and pretty much share what we're going through. So we have the mindset section. We have people who are showing the workouts. I put in the nutrition plans, right? For those of y'all who've been wondering, hey, how did you lose all the weight, right? I've added my nutritional plan here, but I've added the workouts here. I've added the nutrition part here, right? I've added so many things, and then we have the come up series where people are saying, look, this is my come up story. This is what I've been able to do. This thing is literally packed with people who are just like-minded individuals who know what's going on. And ultimately, we get to the bag, because it's more than just trading charts and looking at certain balance sheets for companies. It's an overall thing. So we do the mindset, we do the workouts, we do the nutrition, we talk about the family issues, right? See, I mean, we have it all. I've thought of it for the most part. I think for me personally, I've thought of it all. So we have it all. We come in here and we stay in here. This is what it is. And we trade out of this place. So once again, it's only $50 a month. It's super reasonable. And I'm not gonna lie, I may take it up pretty soon. But for now, it's $50 a month. I definitely suggest, take advantage of it if you want to be better or do better, or just want that community and access to the tools that we have. I've put it all here, family. So I definitely hope to see you on the inside soon. And other than that, I'll see you on the next newsletter video.
Secure the bag, yeah, that's the brand, and we get to the bag. These